an easy one-stop shop for all your outdoor apparel needs. Again, go to OutdoorNation.com, use the code RLA20, and get 20% off site-wide. One-stop shopping for both him and her, and 20% off to boot. Great outdoor apparel at a great price. Look good and feel good. Go to OutdoorNation.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Justin Tinberry, Florida's culinary ambassador. If you've enjoyed preparing fresh from Florida recipes, then you're going to love the Fresh from Florida Club. As a member, you'll be able to search and save delicious recipes, create custom menus, and ask me your cooking questions. Each month, you'll also get a list of what's in season, so you can make your family the freshest meals possible. It's free and easy to sign up. And best of all, you'll be supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. Join the club at freshfromflorida.com today.
The following is a commercial program paid for by Real Animals Fishing. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Captain Dylan Hubbard here for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Talking fishing this morning, hanging out, and unfortunately here for only 2 hours this morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. But we've got our good buddy, Captain Travis Thompson, in studio this morning, chatting fishing with us. We're going to be talking inshore, nearshore, and offshore, and answering your questions, and talking about fishing reports, the weather, what's going on now, what's coming up, and, of course, the right to hunt and fish as well. So, got a great show lined up for everyone this morning. Good morning, Travis.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Not much, man. Different day, same stuff.
I know. These guys are going to get tired of logging in, looking to see Mike, seeing me.
Yeah, I feel that every time Mike's not here, I'm like, and they say, oh, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson. No.
I know, and I'm like super conscious of my arms and like hot. Yeah,
we're letting everybody down.
Seriously.
But that's the standard. That's the standard.
It is.
So we're there. We got this.
Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend, and weather-wise, it looks real nice this weekend and into the work week. But red snapper season, she kicks off June 1st, and don't you know, so does the weather.
How's the weather look for that?
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Weather looks really good until red snapper season opens. So right now, we're looking really good through Memorial Day weekend. Looks like a gorgeous week. It's going to be hot. There's not much wind, not much seas, so it's nice and flat, calm, beautiful, sunny. But it is going to get breezy there that next weekend, it seems, with a pretty strong high pressure settling into the area. Right now, we're on a full moon. The full moon was Thursday, at least according to my weather apps. Everybody seems to argue over the exact day sometimes, but
according to my eyes, it looked like it was Thursday as well.
Yeah, and so we're on the backside of that full moon, some pretty heavy moving currents. So we got a lot of good flushing water, which will help because it is excruciatingly hot outside.
Dude, it is sweltering hot.
Yeah.
We just went straight to July.
What's crazy is I went fishing with my good friends at Fox 13, so I spent a lot of time on the boat with Dave Osterberg talking weather.
Humble brag.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, it was cool having the ability to have a weatherman cornered for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I was picking his brain. And he said the Caribbean right now is as hot as it is in August.
Oh, that doesn't seem...
That's not good.
Being a weather expert like myself, that doesn't seem good.
No. And the fact that the Keys broke the heat index record in May of 115 degrees. So in May, it is as hot in the Caribbean as it normally is in August. So what is the water temperature going to be in August?
Yeah, that's not great, man.
Not good. The coral situation in the Caribbean is already pretty dire. There's this thing going on called stony coral tissue loss disease. They don't know what causes it. They have no idea what causes it, and it's killing an excruciating exponential number of corals.
Is this bleaching? Is this the same thing as bleaching? It's different.
Okay. This is a pathogen, stony coral tissue loss disease, and they don't know what causes it, and it's killing a ton of corals. In Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary and further south throughout the Caribbean, it's really spread. And they don't know what causes it. They've been studying it for a few years. Now, also on top of that, you have the bleaching issue. And last year, they had a lot of problems with bleaching. And now the water temperatures are already at that bleaching level.
Oh my gosh.
right now.
That's bad.
Yeah,
bad.
so I'm a little concerned about the summertime weather as far as water temperatures go throughout the Caribbean. Definitely going to be a little bit of an issue that we got to watch out for, because remember, those corals sustain a lot of things, especially for our Gulf of Mexico. So could be a little scary.
Yeah, I had someone a while, I guess it was last year, they were like, man, why do you guys care so much about the coral deal? Like, you're fishermen, you're hunters, we're like, man, you don't understand like how it's all connected.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge deal.
Very much connected.
That's a huge deal. Like those reefs are the lifeblood of.
It's a lot like our estuaries of Tampa Bay.
That's exactly right.
Or any bay, Charlotte Harbor, Sarasota Bay. I mean, those mangroves, those grass flats. That's what a coral reef is. It's an estuary, and that's where a lot of these fish, these
it's a nursery. It's a nursery. It's structure. It's food. It's It's
the
everything.
bottom of the food web.
Gosh,
you need those feeder fish in that bottom of the food web to sustain the upper parts of the food web, which are those big fish that we all target and know and love. So
you can't hit me with a bummer right off the bat like that, man.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Okay.
Mike's not here, so I got to poke somebody. So might as well be you, Travis.
Thanks, man.
This weather update and bummer was brought to you by our friends at Reese Windows and Doors. If they are Florida's leading window and door company with over 50 years in business, and they offer free installation on most windows and doors installed in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors, and their work comes with a double lifetime warranty, which means you never pay for your warranty when you sell your house, and that warranty transfers to the new owners, which adds value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more information on that. So, long story short, weather update-wise, it looks beautiful this weekend. A lot of people are going to be out there on the water. Make sure you stay hydrated.
Dude, just be careful, man. This is a weekend.
You don't want to, I mean, me personally, I don't want to be out in the boat.
I don't. Even when I used to run tarpon charters down south and stuff, like I would not run on this weekend unless I just really, really needed the money.
Yeah.
Like I tried to avoid this weekend.
And if you are going to be on the water, just be careful, go slow, and treat it like driving down the Gandy at 3 a.m., you know?
Man.
You want to avoid other people is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going on.
And be cognizant, be safe, but also think about everybody else's fishing. I mean, I'm thinking tarpon.
Yeah.
Right? The tarpon bite's going off right now.
I'm thinking John's Pass. It is a zoo between the sandbar party, the jet ski rentals, the rental boats.
Just everybody getting in and out.
And then the tide starts going, and it just becomes this just soup of disaster. It's crazy.
We all love the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like we all love the resource. We just got to be careful how we're. This is. I mean, it's a little bit about conservation, but really, it's about staying alive, making sure you don't end up on a news report.
Yeah, definitely. This weekend, a lot of people are going to be on the water. A lot of people are going to be enjoying the weekend. So you want to make sure you're staying hydrated, staying healthy, staying vigilant, going slow, and avoiding other people when you can.
You got that right.
Amen to that. So fishing-wise, things are going great. I mean, offshore definitely been hot this week. We had really, really good bites offshore, near shore yesterday. I mean, nothing spectacular, but like that half-day bottom that we fish often at Hubbard's Marina, I mean, was absolutely alive with action the last couple days. Some of the best catches on the half-day that I've seen in many years. So the fish are jumping in the boat from near shore to offshore, and that full moon really seemed to get things moving and get fish excited. And I heard you mentioned the tarpon bite has been crazy.
That's all I want to talk about is tarpon right now.
Yeah,
like they are going off.
That's crazy.
So we had the hill tides last week with the big moon. That's the first time I've missed a hill tide in probably 20 years.
Wow,
that I haven't fished a hill tide week. But I had a lot of friends out there, a lot of clients, a lot of guides that I've talked to this week. The bite just was stupid good.
I've been hearing more and more that there's so many tarpon around, like historic numbers of tarpon around.
Stupid good. Like, I forget, they got the calculator that you can put it in. I never did that with my clients, but like you can put like the measurements in, like the girth and length, and it'll calculate out
how big, how many pounds it was.
Yeah, and I had one friend that using that calculator, they boat sided 5 that were over 200 pounds according to the calculator. Like,
whoa,
this was were they 200 pounds? I don't know, but they weren't 60.
Yeah.
Which
those are big fish.
Those are big fish to put that many. Like that's a killer day, man. I told him, I was like, and I know the guy well, and I was like, man, don't hold it against him if he can't do that again, because days like that don't happen very often.
Isn't a tarpon over 200 pounds pretty rare?
Yeah, like I think the record is 220, 240, something like that.
It's pretty low.
And maybe somebody caught one illegally, somehow that was like 280.
Oh wow!
So
it's a stud.
And I want to say our friend Justin Moore caught one that using the app would have come out like close to like 250, 280 a few years back, because I remember being on the news.
Wow.
Like caught one the right way, like hook and line. Like it was a monster.
Wow.
It was a monster.
That's crazy.
It doesn't matter to me. Once a tarpon hits 160, 175 pounds, it's gigantic.
Yeah.
Like you can almost see the difference. I remember when we used to fish them a lot, you could see the sub 100, you could see that 120-pound class, and then 160 and up.
I got
and
you.
then every once in a while you touch one, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is it. This
That's
is the 200-pounder.
This is the man.
Yeah, and like, it's not like we're weighing them.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the PTTS days, you could weigh them, but you don't weigh them. So, we don't know.
You just eyeball it.
Yeah, it's a guess, but you look at enough of them, you start to know.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. 100%.
It's like chicken sexing, right?
You lost me. And we're lost. I was thinking red grouper, like a red grouper comes over the side. That's a keeper. It's over 20 inches. Yeah.
It's the same. Okay, so chicken sexing, they sex
Don't
chickens.
try to explain this.
No, listen, man. They sex chickens. They look at them, and they can tell if it's a boy or a girl by just they begin to look at them. There's no trick to it other than you just learn what they look like.
I thought like
it's the same deal.
Forgive my ignorance. I'm going to sound really dumb right now, but I don't care. I thought like male chickens were roosters.
Not when they're little. You're sorting the hatchlings.
Oh.
So you got a sorter there, and he looks at him. He's like, oh, that's a boy. That's a boy. That's a boy. That's a girl. That's a boy. That's a girl.
Huh.
And somebody stands over their shoulder and watches them do it. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a boy. Oh yeah, that's a boy. Oh, you're wrong. Anyway, the point of the whole story is you begin to acquire an eye for what you begin to acquire an eye for what is or isn't. So like you said, when a client catches a mangrove snapper on my boat, I know that it's 10.5 inches and I know it's 9 3/4 inches.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It's no different with a tarpon. You know a really big tarpon versus a good sized tarpon.
And you can tell that, hey, it's not a keeper, but you still got to measure it sometimes for the client, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You got the guy from Ohio, first ever red grouper. You don't want to be like, oh, that's not a keeper. Toss it back.
No, you've got to show him that it's not a keeper.
You got to show it on the ruler. Yep, not big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times you play? And do you ever tell them exactly what it is?
What do you mean?
So, like, similarly, like inshore fishing, we would go catch mangrove snapper at the end of the day sometimes. And on my boat, it was 12 inches.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of upped the limit a little bit, so we weren't keeping these little ones. And I was like, dude, that's 11 3/4.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's not. Yeah, it's 11 3/4. Like, put him on the measuring tape. Like, I've looked at these a bajillion times. I know what they look like.
Yeah. They got to be big enough to
He just doesn't look like he's 12 inches. I don't know how else to tell you. He just doesn't look like it.
I can eyeball it. I know. Yeah, definitely over time you get to eyeball it. And you learn. Join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love your fishing reports, your questions. If you just want to say hello, give us a call. We'll be right back.
Mike Lester is the founder of Talon Wealth, and he believes the definition of a true fiduciary is simple.
A true fiduciary would not sell you a product that they got commission on. A true fiduciary does well when you do well.
Some of those products could be mutual funds, annuities, or even real estate investment trusts. Mike believes...
Here we are. We're back. You going to check?
Yeah.
Flying solo for a minute.
Flying solo. You got this, Travis.
I got it.
That talk back button,
What's up, dude?
I never know if it works.
What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Good, man.
Were you here all night?
No.
Fresh then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Always helps if you log in.
What'd you say about talkback?
Nothing. I just hit the talkback button to let you know I didn't have a call screen, but I never know. Like, it doesn't confirm that you're talking back, so I don't know if it works or not.
Oh yeah, if you hear me talking back to you, then it works.
Then I know it works.
Yeah, it does work. It does work for sure.
Hello? Oh wow, we got 2 callers.
There's nothing on the air.
I see.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there it is. We got 2 callers already?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. They're on it this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good. Did you hear that?
That was me.
Oh,
that was my phone
pulling up the stream.
The volume was up.
I was like, wait, what? Did they come over the radio? Morning, Big O. Morning, Will, Keen, Alejandro.
Nick's out at the Skyway watching.
Gary Jones, Dan the Fishman, Jack Egger, Jim Demmel, Frank, Travis, Jeff Reedy, Vicky.
It's a good squad this morning.
Oh, yeah. Rolling deep already. It looks like I'm good. Need in here? Went quiet again.
Did it again?
Yeah.
Just busting them up.
Oh, I could hear it really faintly in the background.
Weird. Morning, Deke. Morning, LaShonda.
So much for being a freshman.
You sprint back and forth a few more times, you'll be awake. No coffee needed.
No coffee needed.
Is it this one? No.
Heading out on the 10-hour tomorrow. Man, that water's it's going to be glass, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be gorgeous.
Kind of jealous of that.
You've been doing well in the red grouper, too.
Really? On the 10-hour?
Mm-hmm. The Fox 13 guys were catching some big gags. It was so funny.
Really?
Yeah. Big boys.
Is that us?
Yep. We're back. Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show this morning. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday morning. It is a gorgeous Saturday morning, getting ready to enjoy a great holiday weekend. It is Memorial Day, and definitely want to take a minute to thank all of those veterans out there actively serving or who have served, who have really, really made today possible. Remember, the holiday weekend is all about remembering those who have served and who made the ultimate sacrifice. So definitely want to take a minute to think about all the veterans out there. Speaking of veterans, we've got Captain Gene Hammond on the line, probably calling along that same vein. How are you doing this morning, Captain Gene?
Hey, Captain Gene.
Good, Captains. How you guys doing this morning? It's beautiful today. But
gorgeous.
You are absolutely right. Calling in on a Memorial Day weekend. 600,000 souls lost since World War II. We got to remember that, right?
Wow.
And, there's veterans out there, veterans that are deployed. You know me, I'm always helping do the best I can to help the veterans that are still with us. And we appreciate your gratitude on a weekend like this, but we're still here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember those that did give the ultimate sacrifice on this week. And not just this weekend, but every day, right?
Yep. Amen.
A lot of people, a lot of lives lost to enjoy the freedoms that we have today. Just asking everybody to stay safe on the water and and enjoy the day.
Yeah,
enjoy
and it's not only the veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty and in active duty and in combat, but also all the veterans that have to deal with and struggle with the fallout from that.
PTSD.
And, and the fact that we lose 22, it's 22,
22
right?
a day to suicide
is unacceptable.
Back in I think in 2013, 2014, the VA did a study that showed we were losing 22 veterans a day.
Crazy.
To veteran suicide because of anxiety, PTSD disorders and stuff like that. I think that number, groups like Vet Catch, which I'm helping today, do a kids fishing tournament. Captain Bill Rutherford says hello.
Awesome.
And because of groups like that, and I'm starting a new foundation called Lines of Liberty. We're just getting started, but we're going to help all the foundations. Because of stuff like that, we have, I think the recent numbers are 17 a day, which is still too many, right?
Right, too many.
But even at 17 a day in your 2-hour show, we probably lost one.
Right.
Probably lost one. Probably lost two.
Yeah.
So people know how to get a hold of me. If you're struggling, and it's really, it's up to the family members to watch changes in veterans and look for those signs of depression and bring it to the table. Have that hard conversation before we're folding flags over a casket. It's the worst thing I've ever had to do in my life,
Yeah.
I did 6 trips to the desert after 9/11, and the worst duty I ever had was here in the States. I was assigned as a casualty assistance officer after, in between all those deployments, and it's no fun whatsoever to sit at a kitchen table and sign paperwork. It's not fun.
Yeah,
and,
I couldn't imagine. So,
fun.
and you brought up a good point, right? Is, again, today we're memorializing, this weekend's all about Memorial Day and memorializing those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, sacrificing for our country, but also, like I said, the veterans who struggle and have to deal with that, and then ultimately have the suicide rate that we do now, but also the families that are impacted. Because someone who gives their lives in the line of duty also, I mean, they have family, right? And so many families out there are struggling with loss as well. So just keep that in mind as we move through this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I really struggle with there's so much help out there for the veterans, and when it does happen, I almost get a little bit angry at the veteran themselves because sitting there and watching what they do when something like that to their family members is the worst thing. It's bad.
I couldn't imagine. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Not great.
But just give us a call. There's plenty of help out there. There's veterans hotlines out there. Again, we remember everybody that's not with us on this weekend to be able to enjoy our water, boating, fishing, and like today, we're doing a kids event up here in Newport Richey with Vet Catch and Captain Bill Rutherford.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Good people up there. That's the Bait Bucket, I believe, right? Or Rusty Bucket? What's the name of his tackle?
Bucket
Rusty
on Main
Bucket.
Street. Yeah, the Rusty Bucket.
Yeah, that's his tackle shop.
How's
really good people.
How's the fishing look up there?
Yeah, you know what? I was out a couple of times this week. Well, Monday on a veterans trip I did, and I'm seeing some pretty good tarpon roll through the area all the way up here in Newport Richey.
That's awesome, man.
I couldn't get ahead of them. We caught trout and redfish and normal stuff, but I was really surprised to see a couple of pods of nice 50, 60, maybe 70 pounders roll right through, and they just kept going. I couldn't get ahead of them.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling on this Memorial Day weekend. We are fortunately up against the break. Tell someone how they get a hold of Lines of Liberty if they would want.
Yeah, look us up at linesofliberty.org. You can also go to vetcatch.com or .org.
Awesome.
Look up Captain Bill. He knows how to get a hold of me. And thank you for everybody that is no longer with us. We remember.
We appreciate you, Captain Gene. Thanks for the phone call. Real Animals Radio is going to be right back.
Weather's WFLA News Desk.
But it worked out.
It worked out great.
Got it in there. Let's see. Wow, Jason's been in the Army for 32 years. That's crazy. That's some serious service. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah. Good crowd on this morning.
Yeah.
Early. Y'all are up early.
Good morning, Mike Elfenbein.
Elf.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend. I see Elfenbein probably twice a month. I think I've seen him in his hometown one time. I think he's seen me in my hometown one time.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, like...
I've seen you a lot, and I've never seen you in your hometown.
Yeah. Well, I kind of count Bartow as my hometown. I don't think we've ever been at Bartow 4 at the same time.
Yeah, no. That's funny.
Tell you what I got planned for my Saturday is a Sam's trip.
Oh, there you go. That sounds fun.
It is fun. I love Sam's.
I love Sam's too.
It's a
get in trouble over there though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They always have cool stuff in the aisles.
You know what I'm in for at Sam's right now? First off, I'm thinking about converting to like local grown proteins.
Yeah.
Where are you at on that?
Local grown proteins? I mean, if it's available, yeah.
Yeah, that's the trick. So I like lamb a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a lamb guy?
I love all sorts of meats.
Super high
I don't
protein.
discriminate.
Lamb is super high protein.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam's always has lamb racks. Like they got the best price on rack of lamb.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to hit that up. And I need paper towels.
You need a truck bed full of paper towels.
Yeah, and I'm not getting on the water this weekend.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, my wife's family, it's her aunt's birthday, so we're all going to be hanging out at my father and mother-in-law's condo they have out in Johns Pass. They have a boat and a jet ski, and they're like, oh, we can hang out by the pool and take the boat out. And I'm like, yeah, let's stay by the pool.
Yeah, we can hang out by the pool for sure.
Yeah. It was funny, Thursday, they were over there hanging out by the pool. And whenever I take my son over there, I bring a little fishing pole, and he fishes with me a little bit. So I wasn't there because I was at work, and no one would fish with him. No one had a fishing pole. So he kept asking to go fishing. No one would fish with him. Well, I was out fishing that day. So he got home, I got home, and he was sad, complaining he couldn't go fishing. And then I told him I was out fishing, or my wife said that I was out fishing. He cried.
Oh,
I was so proud.
I know, that's kind of awesome, right?
Yeah. I think this is us.
And Farah, our philosophy can be boiled.
We just got faked out.
Yeah. Yeah, so he cried that he couldn't go fishing.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I was like, yes.
That's so awesome.
He loves it. So today we're going fishing.
Nice.
Off the seawall. A sabiki rig is all he needs right now, which is very nice.
So he's just catching pinfish.
Yeah.
And
you catch 2 pinfish on a little trout rod.
he's thrilled. He's over the moon.
Oh, yeah. But it also it might be ruining him. I don't know, because like you cast out and you get a fish almost every cast.
Every cast.
So it might be setting them up for a rough truth. It's not normally like this, son.
Yeah, you can't start people at the high end on fishing. You got to start them out in the slog a little bit, you know.
You got to go sit at the bridge.
That's like I say all the time. That's like taking Kate Upton to the prom. Like you've peaked at 19, 18. You've peaked. Like it's downhill from here.
Who's taking Kate Upton to the prom?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's.
It's like
some schmuck did though,
yeah.
And like, what's he doing with his life?
Yeah, he's definitely downhill.
So you don't want to catch like a 25-pound snook on your first.
In high school is what we're saying.
Yeah, like you don't want to catch a 25-pound snook on your first cast. You don't want to smoke a 12-point buck on your first shot. Like, you need to like build up to that a little bit.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. It makes sense.
Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Bartow Ford, Real Animals Radio. If you want to join the conversation, give us a shout, 1-800-969-9352. Want to make sure we give a shout to our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They are defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a personalized and professional approach to doing business. Call 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. We do have another caller on the line, and hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 is the call-in line. If you want to bring us a fishing question, say hello, or a fishing report. We've got our good buddy Donald from Lutz on the line. How are you doing this morning, Donald?
What's up, Donald?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Travis. Good morning, Dylan. Hope all is well with
you. You got to turn down your radio. Turn down the radio or turn down the stream.
I don't have the radio on. Can you hear me okay?
Now we can. It seems like there's some sort of echo going on. Do you have the radio or the Facebook stream?
No, I took you off Bluetooth.
There we go. That'll work. I think we're better now.
That's it. We've solved it.
All right. Excellent.
Awesome.
So I'm on my way to a secret, not so secret fishing spot. Today kicks off DCA Star Tournament today.
Okay. So, you're weathering the storm, the Memorial Day storm on the water to get started off on the right foot.
Had a shot of that redfish, right?
That's right. It's you get a shot, and I'm going to a place that I've never been to before. So my GPS is talking to me right now as well, telling me where I should turn and stuff because I've never been, to this location and. I've always wanted to. It's like I told Liz, I said, I'm going to go up to this place here and let's see what happens, fish around some islands. And,
he's being he's being very vague. And
he is. He's being
secretive.
Normally Donald's pretty straightforward when he calls in.
I'm going to meet you here.
Yeah, like this boat ramp, I'll be out there, and
I'm going to be using
not
this
today.
lure.
He's like, hey, I'm going fishing in the water somewhere.
It's going to be over your head.
Yep, I actually have shrimp with me. I never.
Wow. Is this Donald from Lutz? I feel like someone's tricking us right now.
Yep, I actually have shrimp and my paddle tails.
He's very serious about this.
He's ready to win Star.
I really would love to. Listen, go win yourself a darn boat already.
$500,000 in prizes.
There it is. It's definitely going to be a long summer. You got to grind it out, Donald. I expect some big winnings out of you.
Absolutely, man.
The bar is set high.
Yeah, it should be a good summer. I am going to be out there a lot fishing. So,
that's awesome.
And, out in the kayak, I did, my name was picked a few years ago at 4th place in the kayak division, and I won a $200 gift card to Academy. And what I bought with that was a smoker.
Oh, we had to put that to use this weekend too.
Oh, I've been using the heck out of that thing. In fact, when I have my outings, I'll do a big pulled pork, in Boston Butt in my smoker.
Nice.
And then bring it with me then, the next week. And, man, that thing is gone.
We had a fishing trip Monday. Our supporters group, we took out in the water for a free 12-hour trip. So we had about 55 or so anglers, and we went out and crushed some big mangroves and lanes and red grouper and stuff. It was super fun. But one of the supporters brought out like trays and trays. I think he did 2 full Boston butts and a bunch of pulled pork. It was probably one of the best pulled porks I've ever had. So now I'm hungry again at the mention of Boston butt pulled pork.
Thanks for whetting my appetite. I was talking about lamb chops a minute ago. Now I'm like, we've talked about.
Let's hurry up and end this show. We got places to go.
We get D in here to run the rest of the show. We
go get some barbecue.
That's right. Man, pulled pork, I do mine for like 12, 13 hours, and I use only oak wood in my smoker. Yeah, so, I can't leave. I don't leave the house when I do it, pending that. So I just sit on my patio.
For 13 hours.
Have a cocktail. Oh, yeah. I start at like 5:30 in the morning.
I'd be hammered.
It's a labor of love. It's a labor of love, right?
That's why I don't have a smoker. I couldn't afford it.
We're gonna get Dylan
I'm not
there.
responsible enough for this.
He's not old enough yet to have a smoker and settle into like grilling meats on a weekend, but I am, and I'm trying to get him there.
Whoa! I love grilling meats, but I like grilling meats. Smoking meats, that's a commitment. That's a time commitment.
We're gonna get you there.
I don't know, maybe one day, but I respect it.
It is a commitment.
I respect it, and I definitely, like I said, had some of the best pulled pork I've had in a long time this week. So. I look forward to learning that at some point.
Hey, Donald, where'd you say you were fishing again?
Oh, up here, somewhere out in the water.
Nice try, Travis.
Almost got him.
Yeah, up here, he said, though, so there's a clue.
That is a clue,
so
right?
He's north of where he normally is.
That is true. It is north of what I normally fish. So.
All right.
Awesome, buddy. Well, good luck. We're rooting for you out there. That's the best thing about Stars. You can root for everybody, right?
Yeah. Everybody's got a shot. $500,000 in prizes. A lot of boats to give away. So good luck, Donald. Get out.
Like, I don't understand why the people who catch tag redfish aren't even in it. It's like, oh, my God, what are you, morons?
Don't have tag grets.
What did Lisa tell us last week? That they've already caught a handful of them recaptures.
Yeah, I think there was already 2 caught
before the tournament even started. I think there was more added over the course of the week. I don't know if she's calling in later, but I think there were more over the course of the week that were caught. And so, man, it's going to be. I think it's going to be banger. I think this weekend's going to we're going to see some recapture. There's some
not recaptures, catches. Boar.
What'd you say?
I just saw a wild boar.
Oh, he's way north. You're giving away where you're fishing,
you're giving away context clues now, man. We're
he's
dialing
in Newport Richie for sure.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. The black boar on the side of the road, right? I just passed it. It's like he was rooting in the grass there, right there, off the side of the road. It's like, wow.
Drop me a pin offline, Donald. We'll take care of that, and we will have pulled pork as well.
Right. Wow.
All right, buddy.
Cool.
Good luck out there.
Take care. Be safe.
Drive safe.
All right, you too. Guys, take care. Stay safe. Tight lines, and God bless everyone. And for Memorial Day.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate all the men and women.
Appreciate
you. Guys take care.
See you, man. Thanks for the call, Donald. And hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. He was being so secretive.
He was, man. I tried.
Until he mentioned the boar.
Then
he's
you knew.
Definitely not in Greater Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, he was in Pinellas County.
Yeah, he's outside Pinellas. Definitely in Pasco. 100%. Yeah, well, now we know. We're dialing it in. I bet he's part of that vet catch thing today up in the Rusty Bucket.
Oh, that does. That seems like
Newport Richie.
That seems like his jam, doesn't it?
Right up Donald's alley.
Yeah. Yep. I bet he's heading up that way.
Yeah.
I bet he's heading. Not to blow his cover on where he's fishing.
We just did. That's what this radio show's all about. The fish are biting hot here.
I feel like on Star they've told us we've heard. I don't know if it was from Lisa or if I've heard it other places, but that there were more just redfish releases in what was it? Crystal River. What is that? Hernando County? Is that
Pasco? I believe.
It's north of there. I think. Anyway, somewhere up there, wherever Crystal River is, there were I think Pasco 8 released in there, and then Charlotte County I think was the other one that had more releases.
Yeah, because some of the counties were paying for it. And I know
the tourism
Citrus, that's what it is.
Citrus County and Charlotte. And Lisa will call in and correct us in a little while. But
yeah, Citrus County is huge. They're super active. They're one of the counties that really invests in their fisheries.
Agreed.
Visit St. B. Clearwater, Pinellas County. I love you guys. You do a great job, but they are not really heavily involved in the fisheries.
Yep.
Like they're promoting the fact that we have all these great beaches, and that Clearwater Beach was nominated for the top 10 beach in USA Today voting. They nominated, or they were promoting that Little Toot won the dolphin boat. They might get best boat tour in USA Today top 10 voting. Our charter boat, Hubbard's Marina, is
won. Yeah,
we've won 3 years in a row. They won't even mention it, and we sent the press release to them like 3 times. It's funny how certain counties are very fishing focused, like Charlotte County and Citrus County, and then other counties are like, yeah, we fish too, but we've got beautiful beaches.
that right there is a little, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but that's a little microcosm of why like right to fish and hunt matters so much.
Yeah.
That's not anti-hunting, anti-fishing sentiment. It's just we're not talking about it, normalizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you see that around the state in a lot of places and little pockets and stuff.
Yeah.
We almost take it for granted.
Speaking of the right to hunt and fish and blowing up fishing spots, Captain Bobby Woodard is catching a lot of fish in Boca Grande right now.
Is he on the line?
He's on the line.
Is he on the water?
He's not catching sailfish, but he might catch a tarpon today.
Is he on the water?
Bobby, are you on the water?
Hey, good morning, fellas. I am not on the water. Took advantage of a few days in a row of being on the water and up at 3:15 in the morning to sleep in this morning.
That is unacceptable. If you are not on the water today and you're not in the studio with Travis and I,
why aren't you
we
here?
Are hurt. I'm emotionally hurt right now.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, you can blame Anna for that one.
Is Anna there? Can we talk to her?
Throw Anna under the bus.
Let's put her on the phone. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, he's blaming Anna. It is 100%. Bobby's been tarpon fishing hard, and he wanted a day off. I get it.
Tell him about that tarpon bite, Bobby.
Tarpon bite's been really good, especially on this moon. I mean, it's been good all season. This is one of the better seasons in recent years. But on this full moon, these big outgoing tides in the afternoon, the hill tides, and the crab flushes and whatnot, it's been pretty fire.
That's awesome. So the crabs are flushing really well with that little bit of rain we had already.
So really well, no, but enough to more so than they have so far. So that's kind of the good thing. If we had rain, I'm sure the banner crab flushes that we're used to having would be happening. But there's been enough flushing to scoop them up and not have to pay like $100 a piece or whatever the going rate is now. And so yeah, it's been good.
The crab economy is robust.
It is. So is it more of a crab bite already? Because I know it was really threadfin heavy to start.
Yeah, crabs have been good. So, threadfins are still working out on the beach, or the guys that are wanting to get outside of the passes and get them up on the hill or on the flats, the edges of the flats and whatnot. Threadfins are working good. Squirrelfish are working really good too. We just finished up the World's Richest Tarpon Tournament on Wednesday, Thursday, and the traditional guides in the old school drift boats, inboard keeled drift boats. Most of them are using squirrelfish, and they just absolutely wrecked them for those 2 days of the tournament. Nice. I forget what the totals were, but it was like 160 some fish caught in 3 hours of fishing times 2 days.
What?
Yeah,
that's unheard of. That's crazy. So you feel it's one of the better tarpon seasons overall, huh?
Yeah, it's been good for us so far, and fleet wide, I feel like everybody's doing pretty well.
That's awesome.
We actually yesterday morning on my trip, we spent a few hours out there in the morning. I had a little 5-year-old kid on the boat, so we didn't want to bore him too bad with tarpon fishing. So we spent a few hours, had a couple on. Ultimately, only ended up with one boat side, and then went trout fishing, and we caught. Oh man, I should have videoed it. We caught trout every single cast, every single bait that hit the water for like an hour straight, and then we went snook fishing and did well with that. And then we're like, okay, cool. Thanks for coming out. Let's call it a day.
You wore the kid out. If you wear the kid out, you win, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby,
we were gonna go sail fishing after, but
how would someone get a hold of you, Bobby, if they wanted to book a tarpon trip or snook or tarpon or trout?
Sure, 863-224-1418 or captain-bobby.com. And while you're on captain-bobby.com, check out the Right to Fish and Hunt page I added recently.
Boom.
So we need everybody to show up and strengthen November 2nd. Vote yes for Amendment 2.
I appreciate you, Bobby. Thanks for the call in, my friend. Go back to bed. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Run 800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. We got Capt Mike Perry on the other side. Hopefully you as well. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
Everyone has heard me speak about going the wrong way. But let me be clear.
Yeah, he sounded like he rolled over, called in, and is rolled back over now.
Yeah. And then he blamed Anna.
Yeah.
He didn't roll over and call in. He left the room because he blamed Anna.
Anna, if you're watching this, we're Team Anna.
Yeah. It was not her. He 100% was like, no, I'm sleeping in today. I almost texted him yesterday after you texted me, like, hey, I'm sure you're probably not fishing on Memorial Day weekend.
I thought the same thing. I figured they were going out of town or something. Somebody in one of the comments, I can't find it now, said something about buying a half cow.
Yeah.
So there's
that was Andy, one of our supporters.
Andy, he was talking about he said the pork is banging. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
GroveLadderFarm.com. So there's a Florida Farm Finder group on Facebook that you can join, and it's all like small local farms and stuff like that. I found a sheep and lamb person out there. I just don't know when I'm going to be near it again.
Wonderfield Farm and Grove. Our farm, we sell chickens.
You guys do? You sell poultry?
Mm-hmm.
Eggs and processed?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Are you on Florida Farm Finder?
It's our land, but some of the people that work there and like help maintain the farm will have kind of side gigs. And one of the couples that work there, their side gig is raising chickens and selling the poultry and the eggs. So I believe they are on Florida Farm Finder. But
if you're just north of here, Riverbend Cattle does really good. They'll do cuts, so you don't have to buy like a whole cow or half cow. They'll do. You could buy like 3 ribeyes from them,
and that stuff is legit. We had 26 cows, and we were down to 1 cow because we sold them all. And my dad kept, I think, like 3 of them, and had all the cuts. It was really.
You're
good.
in cattle?
Yeah, we were.
You personally, are you in cattle? Like
my dad is and my sister are the ones who kind of handle the farm thing. The farm thing is.
I didn't know you were kindred spirit with me, man. Like you're out here.
I guess you could say I am a cattle farmer.
Yeah. Are you a member of Florida Cattlemen's? We gotta get you joined.
Okay.
We gotta get you joined to FCA.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're down to 1 cow, but we're supposed to be getting, I think, 6 or 8 here in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
So we'll be back up.
Are you just raising them and you raise them and butcher them?
Yeah.
You're not doing like cow calf?
No, we're doing cow calf.
You are doing cow
calf.
Okay.
We did it 3 times so far. Yeah. Yeah, the ones we just sold had been calved, I think, twice.
Okay. All right. The heifers
still had life. Now we're goat rich right now and meat rabbits. We got meat rabbits, goats.
Oh man, I love a good meat rabbit.
Turkeys.
Listen to Stacy coming in on top of me after I just said all that. Get out of my Kool-Aid, Stacy.
Stacy, always a second late. The delay got her.
Somebody said Donald is headed to one of the destination spots. What if Donald is going to Citrus County?
He is 100% because that's one of the destination spots.
Yeah, like that's why he almost hit a hog. He's up there in the middle of nowhere.
Is that us? No. Oh, it is us. Yeah. Saturday morning. I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Power Pucks. They are the world's first power supply trolling motor quick release bracket. They eliminate the need for an exterior power plug, which can snag lines, corrode easily, and just be an eyesore cluttering up your deck. Go to pwrpux.com, powerpucks.com, and find out for yourself why so many of the pros are making the switch over to Power Pucks. Speaking of pros, we've got Captain Mike Perry on the line from Big Pine Key. How are you doing, Captain Mike?
Hey, Captain Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Happy Memorial Day weekend to you both.
Yeah,
Yes,
same
sir.
to you.
Appreciate it, my friend. I bet the keys.
No problem. No problem. Listen, here's a trivia question. Anybody who hasn't been paying real close attention online, how do you keep people out of the Florida Keys on a Labor Day weekend?
You close all the public boat ramps.
Exactly. You close all the public boat ramps. Wow. Thank you to our Monroe County people. Get out of here, you.
Wow, that's crazy. They just shut all.
Well, it's a pilot program. They decided Almirada.
Wow.
And of all places, Almirada. I mean, come on. That's our fishing capital of the area. That's inshore, offshore, near shore. That's everything right there. Yeah, they closed the public boat ramps, and several of them are well equipped, monster boat ramps. I'm talking parking for well over 100 vehicles with boats, plus extra parking for single cars and trucks. Yeah, they closed them till March 28th.
May 28th. May 28th.
No, I'm sorry. I'm hoping they close it to March 28th.
That's crazy. I heard. I heard something else they're doing in the Keys is charging exponentially more money for non-Keys residents for boat ramp use.
Yeah, especially if you have an out-of-state plate and it's a tended boat ramp, which more of them are becoming now. Basically, like going into your community, having a gate to get into your community. You're going to have gates to get into boat ramps, and it's going to be tended. Yes, it's going to be. They're talking about a sticker program, obviously, for those of us that have homes and everything down here, and it'll go. You'll renew it when you do your tags on your car or your truck or whatever. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's getting pretty. If you drive down Overseas Highway and you're going across the highway, you could see any place that there's a spot. You could drop a kayak, canoe, boat, flats boat, offshore boat, whatever. There's a truck or a car parked there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just changed a lot probably over the last 15 years.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, we only got about a minute or so here. So how's the fishing?
Fishing's been great. Yeah, I just want to get that in. Fishing's been great, inshore, offshore. All the inshore guys are saying this is the best tarpon season they've seen in 20 years.
Even in the Keys.
Unbelievable. Awesome. Up and down from the Keys, I guess, all the way to Boca Grande.
Yeah.
I mean, the tarpon are around, and offshore, the snapper, the grouper, red grouper on the bottom, and plenty of pelagics, blackfin tuna, mahi. They're all here.
Awesome. So. That's good to hear, man. I appreciate it. How would someone get a hold of you if they wanted to come down and book a charter?
Sure. It's 813-434-8086, CaptainMichael47gmail.com, or simply call 1-866-GAMEFISH, and Michael shoots your way. And, hey, I use a private boat ramp, folks, so you don't have to worry about it. And I'll show you where some private ones are. You can get your boats in the water.
There you go.
Appreciate you, Captain Mike.
Have a great day, guys.
See you, buddy. Definitely interesting. Closing public boat ramps. That's crazy.
Don't get me started, man.
It's statewide. It's a problem that municipalities are all struggling to how to address. And the Keys just went all in. They said, we'll close them all down.
If you grow at the rate we're growing and you don't mitigate, we're going to pay the price.
1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. Hopefully we'll hear from you. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back. I wish they would keep him closed.
Yeah, then he said that, when he first started it, he didn't seem like he was a fan of it.
Yeah, but now it seems like he is. It's interesting.
But then at the end, he's also said he would help people find places to launch, so. Man.
Nuts.
This is always my concern. Like, we can talk about this offline here. Like,
Well, offline.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Online.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm always concerned about restrictions that impact hunters, anglers, users of the resource to save the resource, because it's such a preservationist mentality.
Yeah.
And we do it to accommodate growth. Like, if you put 10 million more people in Florida,
which we
the
have.
pressure of those 10 million more people that's going to happen on our fisheries or our wildlife, how do you regulate that? You restrict those fisheries and wildlife. And so, again, that's why right to fish and hunt matters so much. But also, you can't continue to just grow unfettered. You've got to manage it better, because there's not a limitless.
That's the reason for all our regulations, right?
Yeah.
Since Refish Amendment 1, the whole reason we've been adding regulations is because there's more people in the water, more people trying to catch those fish. The Gulf can only hold, that's what I always tell people, is people are like, I can't believe we only have 6 months to catch red grouper. It's like, dude, the Gulf can only hold so many fish, and you got more and more people going out there to catch those fish.
That's exactly right.
The piece of the pie that you get is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. It has to.
Exactly right.
So the only way to manage it is, like you said, by limiting the fishermen.
People think I'm crazy, but I think in my lifetime we'll see quotas issued for being able to take inshore species.
I believe it.
So you won't even go fish if you don't have a quota to target it.
Well, they're already talking about that with red snapper, gag grouper, doing the harvest tags. And then that's the road to it.
And I don't like any of that. So, like, that's why I always push back against, like, closures and stuff is...
Well, groups were very opposed and fought really hard against any sort of rights-based management, allocation-based management, harvest tags, anything like that. But now it's become much more palatable with these seasons, the way they've been so restrictive. And now people have even talked about it or asked for it for, like, gag grouper.
Well, yeah, because we get conditioned to behave within the system that's created around us a little bit, right? Like, it's easier to work within the system than it is to push back against it and disrupt it.
Yeah.
But if you get into it, like, any sort of closure is being used to manage something else. It's not being used to manage the fishery. It's being used to manage the accommodation of. We just gave $100 million to the tourism board.
Yeah.
Clearly,
it's working.
Visit Monroe County doesn't need any more tourism board money, right? Like, if they're having to close public boat ramps. But that's a really unpopular sentiment. Of course they need money. Of course they need to grow. Like, wait a second. If you can't accommodate the people.
That's interesting.
Like.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way of approaching it.
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but.
Sounds like it.
I'm not. But I'm pretty convinced. I mean, we keep telling people to come to Florida, come to Florida, come to Florida. And we run trips off people coming to Florida, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a big. We need people coming, but also you can't just have. What do we have? 132 million people came last year.
Yeah.
So if you divide that by 52, that's almost 2.5, almost 3 million extra people per week in this state, if they were equally distributed, and they're not.
Crazy.
So you're at 21.5 million people. We're really at 24 million people in the state at any given moment.
Nuts.
Yeah. And we're still promoting Visit Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying shut it down. I'm just saying, like, maybe we don't need to spend as much as, like, we've done it. You're visiting.
Yeah. And tourism grows every year.
And so I guess where I'm kind of at is, like, we would never do this, but if you stopped Visit Florida, I don't think people stop coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you? I don't know how that works well enough, but I'm thinking people are still booking conferences. They're still doing all the stuff they do.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
What makes Florida special is the stuff, man. It's the water, it's the fish, it's the springs, the lakes, that's.
Yeah.
Is Ron calling in? We got anybody on the line?
DeSantis?
No, Captain Ron Stackelbach.
We've got Fogel on the line, okay. Captain Jim Fogel.
I passed like 10 guys this morning on the way into Polk County to bass fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's probably a tournament, a little local tournament or something going.
Some of those bass boats you pass on the highway are so incredible.
Dude.
Those 52-inch televisions on the front.
It's insane, man. Oh, yeah, the forward-facing sonar. Have you fished with that?
No, I'm just talking about like how they have just huge screens in the front of the boat too, like
like you're watching TV.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's insane.
And no, I have not fished with that live scope stuff.
The live scope,
I've seen it like at iCast and stuff, but I've never
you can pick your fish.
It's nuts. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Jason Richmond said they should make it a right that you could catch and harvest fish or game in the state you were born in. Regulate the people from other states.
You know, I think that's a really interesting discussion. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think that's a really interesting discussion. We see that on the turkey side every year.
Yeah.
Because everybody from out of state wants to come here to kill an Osceola turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, there's huge contention for trying to get in to kill Osceola turkeys.
Osceola turkey.
Because it's such a limited resource.
Yeah. Are you on the Hubbard's Marina stream?
I'm about to be.
Bobby has a question for you.
I can't. It won't refresh. I can't see Bobby's questions.
He said, "What do you think about it?"
I think he's blocked on my screen.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Real Animals Radio is back on this beautiful Saturday morning. Looking forward to another great hour of the show. We've got our Milwaukee Tool Safe Boating Tip of the Week coming up with Captain Jim Fogel, but want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over at Relentless Perpetual Edge Knives. They're the world's first self-sharpening knife that sharpens as it cuts. Ultra hard carbide, never rust titanium blade with true grit glass reinforced ABS handle on a knife that is perfectly balanced and comes in 5 great models. Take the work out of filleting a pile of fish today and get your Relentless knives. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com to find out for yourself why this is the knife all the pros are talking about. With that, we've got Captain Jim Fogel on the line with our Milwaukee Tool Safe Boating Tip of the Week. How you doing, Captain Jim?
So far, so good, Captain Dylan. Hello, Captain Travis. Everybody
hey, Captain Jim.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Awake and ready for a great weekend of beautiful weather. A lot of boats on the water.
Absolutely, looks good. Yeah, but first of all, I want to give a shout out to the veterans and active service personnel who are keeping us safe.
Amen.
And I want to remember everybody who didn't make it back, who gave their all for us.
Amen.
Remember this is a major boating weekend. This weather couldn't get much better. So there's going to be like a zillion people out there.
That's a real number.
A bazillion.
That's a real number.
With a B.
Yeah. It's getting up that high, I mean, they spend our money every day in the zillions, so bazillions has got to be bigger. Anyway.
Amen.
All right. So if you're going out this weekend and you haven't been out lately or you haven't checked over your equipment, for goodness sake, before anybody gets on that boat, check out all that equipment. Make sure you've got all the Coast Guard equipment that you're required. Make sure that the life jackets will fit everybody on the boat. Make sure that the kids that are under 6 and under 13, when you get in federal waters, have their life jackets on. But in Florida waters, before they leave the dock, under 6, life jackets on. Also, let's make sure we got our lookouts posted and they know what their duties are and they pay attention. And please hydrate. It's going to be a bear out there. It's going to be a hot bear. So let's don't get sick. Let's have a good time, but let's hydrate frequently and before we start getting thirsty. Also, of course, you want to be careful. Let's don't have any alcohol out there. Save it till we get back. Just think about how good and nice and cold it'll be when we get back, and just save it when those targets.
Amen.
Nothing
better.
That's about all I got today, guys. I just hope everybody's safe and has a good weekend.
Yep.
And you guys catch them up.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Captain Jim. Your words are well spoken for this weekend, man. It's a crazy weekend on the water.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete. It's Jim Vogel. Be safe out there.
See you, buddy. Always a pleasure to hear from our friend Captain Jim Fogel with our Milwaukee Tool Safe Boating Tip of the Week. It was brought to you by our good friends at Milwaukee Tool. Go to MilwaukeeTool.com and find out for yourself why Milwaukee Tools are the easy choice for the Real Animals Fishing team. Definitely good to cap off Safe Boating Tip or Safe Boating Week. Do they do Safe Boating Week on purpose around
I think
Memorial
it's always.
Day?
I think it always leads into Memorial Day because then it leads into the summer season.
Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense, I guess. It's ironic that it leads up to Memorial Day, which seems to be like Memorial Day and July 4th seem to be like the biggest boating holidays.
Yeah, because by the time you get to Labor Day in Florida, you're back in school.
Yeah.
So
and it's hot.
And it's very hot. I guess school's out, right? I don't know. My
so.
kids are out of school, so I don't know. But I think school's out.
I believe so. Yeah, my son's last day was yesterday.
Like when you went to school, did you get out of school in June? I always felt like we got out of school like in the first week of June or something.
I feel old when I say I have no idea.
I remember that.
Yeah, I feel like it was May for me.
Was it?
Yeah, like mid-May.
You young whippersnappers, y'all don't know anything.
Okay, whatever.
Get off my lawn. I sound like Captain Bobby Woodard right now, don't I?
I know, right? Oh, man, that's a good one. Definitely interesting week to get out there and enjoy some fishing, though. Backside of the full moon, and this is your last opportunity, your last week for those amberjack. They're going to close come June 1st. Amberjack are open the month of May, September, and October this year. Also, triggerfish are going to close June 1st. Triggerfish are open all year long except June and July. So your last chance to get offshore and get some triggerfish and amberjack this week. Weather is beautiful, beautiful today through really Thursday and really Friday. So this is a good opportunity to go out and capitalize on those last few days of amberjack and triggerfish. Lots of red grouper around. They close at the end of June. So you want to capitalize on your last bit of red grouper as well. Big mangroves. I just got a text from our 39-hour trip. They got 300-plus mangrove snapper over the night and over 20 keeper red grouper already. And they're crushing it. And it's a light load. I think we have 32 anglers out there, so they have almost a boat limit of mangrove snapper already.
Wow.
Yeah, impressive.
Wow.
That's a good first night of fishing right there.
No
and
kidding.
They still got probably another 15, 20 hours of fishing to go. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Going to be a good trip.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Solid pile of fish. Hopefully they'll have some time to go amberjack hunting today. Triggerfish have been crazy. I was out there Thursday, and the triggerfish were so thick you could hardly make it a bottom. So I had a 6-ounce lead on, and I was just slowing it down a little bit, and I was actually fishing like a knocker rig style because they were biting the dead bait so fast. It was stopping the bait. And I was just thumbing the spool and like walking the dog and catching the fish up in the water column. It was really, really, really fun.
Wow.
Yeah. They were that thick.
Wow.
Couldn't get the bait to bottom. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And 200 foot of water. It was impressive. So big triggerfish, big vermilions, big yellowtails. And then I was able to get to the bottom. I was catching big mangrove snapper, red grouper too. So it's hot. It's hot fishing and weather. And
'tis the season.
Yeah. It's a good time to get out there. Hopefully, we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 if you have a fishing report, fishing question, or just want to say hello to Captain Travis Thompson and myself. Right to Hunt and Fish coming up. We have a few minutes to talk about that.
Yeah, November 5th.
November 5th. That's the date, huh?
It's on the ballot. We talk about it every week, but some people are probably like, man, they're talking about it again.
Yeah.
But really, this time of year, it's like the awareness. We've just got to make sure everyone is aware that this thing's happening.
Yeah, it's happening. It's on the ballot, and don't let people get confused. A lot of people are confused by it. It's like, what does it mean? I was talking to Russell Rhodes about it, and he was saying, well, does that allow people to go out there without a license? No. It doesn't change anything about the way it's currently managed.
No. It ensures that we have a future. Exactly. That's what I think about. Bobby said it really well that time he called in. He's like, this is a legacy vote. It ensures that if we see pressures against fishing and hunting in the state, which we do, as we continue to grow, as we like we were just talking about pressures creating these closures and things.
Yeah. Closing access to boat ramps.
Closing access to boat ramps and stuff like that. The right to fish and hunt is going to be critically important to us to be able to keep that stuff open long term.
Yeah.
And you think it's bad today, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, it's going to be just about unbearable. So if you don't get this done today, we're never getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be at the mercy of whatever the state decides. Kind of like it's just dicey ground, and we got to get her over the finish line.
And really, the scary part to me is the amount of money and the amount of people in opposition to adding the right to hunt and fish to our Florida Constitution. Why would you be so strongly opposed to that?
Well, I'll tell you what else is funny about that is everyone's like, oh, there's no opposition to it, so we shouldn't vote for it. And I'm like, well, you're the opposition to this. If you think they're like, we see that over and over and over again. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, you're writing these articles that are false, or you're making stuff up around, like, it's complete baloney.
Yeah.
There's a myth out there. I know we got a couple minutes before the break. There's a myth out there around this affecting the net ban, that it would undo the net ban. We've met with lawyer after lawyer after lawyer, from state agencies to private entities. Every one of them said, there's in no way does this affect the net ban. Like, the net ban is safe and protected. This just protects the people that want to go hunt and fish. And I'm like, okay, because I love the net ban personally. I was a big proponent of it. I wrote about it in high school. So it's just like that misinformation campaign. Tell me there's no one against it, yet there are people working against it actively today.
Yeah.
There's your risks. That's where they come from.
And so much is driven by hunting and fishing in the state. Access to boat ramps, the funding for boat ramps comes from hunting and fishing. The funding for a lot of our wildlife corridor, like a fifth of that wildlife corridor, is funded by hunting and fishing. There's so many different things, all the youth education programs, a lot of our water preservation and cleanliness and water restoration. Look at how much a group like 6a-8a does for the environment.
Absolutely,
with the oyster bed restoration. If fishing wasn't a thing in Florida, they wouldn't be doing that.
All clams on deck, like what's Blair's thing? The clam project that Blair Wiggins is doing over there. I know he was out with Mike.
IRL,
in the Indian River Lagoon. Like, man, there's so much that you don't understand. Even if you don't fish or hunt, there's so many reasons to vote for this thing, because it's going to protect the stuff that makes this place special.
Amen to that.
I love to say what makes Florida special isn't subdivisions and strip malls. Like, you could pick those up and stick them in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And they would be roughly the same, except a little colder. What makes it special is our springs, our lakes, our rivers, our land. Like, I'm a big lover of the land of Florida. Like, you go spend some time inland. That's what makes this place unique. The palm trees and the palmettos and the lakes and man, we got to save that stuff.
Yeah.
And this helps do that.
That's what it's all about. That legacy, Florida legacy, definitely important and widespread. So make sure you help us spread the word. You might have heard us talk about this a few times, but we want to make sure you and your friends and your family and everybody knows about Amendment 2. Got to vote yes come November 5th. We've got the Hall of Famer herself, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald, on the other side, so don't go anywhere. We want to hear from her and also from you. 1-800-969-9352. Join the conversation. We'll be right back. Don't put the Hall of Famer on hold.
You know how you give away a free what is it? You give away a free trip if they get a tattoo?
2 free trips.
Two free trips.
2 free 39-hour trips for basically $1,000 in trip fare for a Hubbard's Marina tattoo.
I'm trying to find someone that would sell me the naming rights to their kid.
How many free trips do you get for that?
Well, I'm not giving up free trips. Like, this is for all Florida. This is for conservation purposes, man. Like, somebody's going to take me up on it at some point.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, man. I offer it to every person I run across that's pregnant that I know.
And you haven't found a person to give that up yet, huh?
No, absolutely not.
That's funny.
I mean, but seriously, what would you sell naming rights for your kid?
What are you going to try to name the kid?
I don't know. That's the problem, is like the organization's all Florida, so do you name it Florida. That seems like everybody's going to benefit from that. So it's not worth a whole lot to me. But I'm like,
it's worth a whole lot to someone's kid.
Yeah, like, what if someone said they would name their kid Hubbard? What if you could create a whole class of kids named Hubbard?
I feel like that's taking marketing to a level.
It's the next level, dude. Right?
You're wearing your Taylor Swift friendship bracelets right now too, so that's your guerrilla marketing campaign.
Oh, I love it, man. It's like, why aren't we? What's that worth? Like, that kid's gonna carry your name around through school, high school, everything. Like, it's 20 years of marketing.
Stacy said, I get a tattoo for free fishing trips. I already have my Cast and Blast trophy. I wouldn't put this past Stacy. Like, I feel like she doesn't count because she has the hot dog tattoo. That she's got it's a chili dog, right?
It's like
a
Chicago dog.
Yeah,
it's
Chicago,
got onions and
like fully
crap like
dressed
that on it.
Chicago dog, and it says underneath it, "I've got that dog in me," right? That's what it says underneath it, right?
I don't remember if it says that or not, but yeah, it's definitely a Chicago dog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says, "I've got that dog in me," and that I had so much respect for her at that point. I was like, we just became best friends. Basically, we were already friends, but like. That cemented it. It was so awesome.
Did you ever watch The Office?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know they
47 times.
They did the Dundies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we created Dundies for our podcast.
Yeah.
And it was we bought these little cheap thumbs up trophies like this.
Oh yeah.
And we gave Stacy one. And then she got it for being the person most likely to get this tattooed on her body.
She got it tattooed.
And she went and got it tattooed on her body.
That's hilarious.
Like that week.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I feel like she wouldn't get free trips. I'm just kidding. I would honor it for anybody, including you, Stacy.
Stacy. She's a delight. Stacy and I, I'll say this all fair, I'll do it at the end too. Stacy and I will be at the Chiefland Watermelon Festival next week talking right to Fish and Hunt.
Nice. Watermelon Festival.
You ain't been to a watermelon
awesome.
festival until you've been to the Chiefland Watermelon Festival.
Okay. They do it right?
I guess so. I don't know. We're going to be up there with the folks from Prescription Outdoors, which is a really nice shop up there.
Prescription Outdoors? Mm-hmm. That is a legit name.
That's a great name, right?
Yeah.
That's your prescription is to be in the outdoors.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Brian, Ron from Ron's Tackle Box has not retired yet. He's trying to sell his store, but hasn't found a buyer. I would expect him to call in, but he has been missing a few times.
Imperial Polk County.
It's us.
Radio show presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Here to disappoint you again, it's Captain Dylan Hubbard and Captain Travis Thompson.
Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, no Cap Mike this morning, but hopefully you're still enjoying the show. Now, not to disappoint you, we've got a Hall of Famer on the line, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald. How are you doing this morning, Captain Lisa?
Well, good morning, gentlemen, and everything is wonderful. The Star to Star already began this morning at sunrise. Nice. So I hope that all of your listeners are registered, but if they're not, they should know that they can register throughout the entire competition. So just because you are not registered this morning does not mean you cannot register throughout the competition. I just want to remind everyone that it's any fish you can enter in the competition. We have what we call the Power Pole Conservation Division. So those anglers that may not specifically target any one species and wind up catching catfish or ladyfish or lizardfish, all of those fish, as long as they're a saltwater species, can be entered in the competition with a shot at winning a share of $500,000 in prizes. So we've made it pretty easy. And, you know, even those people who don't fish, guys, you know we have a division, right?
Trash division. I love it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. It's the Costa Kick Plastic Trash Division. And we have gathered through the 10 years of competition over 10 tons of garbage through that competition. So it's been a really significant part of the competition and doing some great things for the environment. Lots of great happenings with the Star competition, but I would tell you get registered sooner than later because as anglers catch tagged redfish, they get their choice of the prizes available. Right now, so you have your choice. First come, first serve. So right now, the first angler who is a CCA member and registered for the competition, when they hook and land their star tagged redfish, they get their choice of a contender, a deck cap, a microdraft skiff, a spider boat, or a Sea-Doo Can-Am package. All the boats are powered by Yamaha, and they're sitting on an infinity trailer. And if you haven't checked out those infinity trailers, I would suggest that you do. They're absolutely amazing, and they're made locally in Ocala, Florida. So check out those trailers. But let me tell you, I mean, you get your choice. So, I mean, the boats that we just talked about, what are you guys going to choose?
The contender with the Yamaha.
I think I'm going with the contender as well.
No hesitation.
Well, here's something. It depends on how you fish.
That's right.
I am going to tell you, I have spent a lot of time on that deck cat, and that boat is absolutely an amazing fishing platform. Really great. I thought, it's a catamaran style boat. It's not going to be great for big water. Oh my gosh, it takes big water wonderfully, has a huge platform up front, great for fishing. The micro draft skiff, holy cow, guys. I've never been in a boat that can run or float as skinny as it does on the frame that it has. It's a big girl. It's a 22-foot boat.
She says a big girl.
Yeah. Runs in shallow, and then want to talk about sexy girl, we got the Spider. That Spider boat, that little skiff is gorgeous. So
that's awesome.
There's lots of opportunities for lots of different individuals, but as the winners come through, then you have different boats you get to choose.
There you go. And you can't go wrong. They all have the right outboard on the back.
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
And if you're thinking, hey, I just don't think I'll ever catch a tagged redfish, well, you can still win a boat, because Carolina Skiff has given us an 18E JVX with a 75 Yamaha sitting on a Road King trailer, and that boat will be the first place prize in the inshore division.
That's awesome.
Can you name a tournament that has a brand new boat just for catching a fish, and it's random drawing, not the biggest fish? I can't think of any other than Star.
This is incredible.
A lot of stuff. And you got the youth division with the scholarships as well, right?
So that, for me, is what makes gives me goosebumps, brings tears to my eyes, is this is year 10. This year, when we award 12 scholarships for a total of $100,000 a year, we are going to have awarded $1 million in college scholarships.
Wow.
That's awesome. Awesome
$1 million. So not only have we helped with habitat restoration, education, conservation initiatives in the state of Florida, how to handle fish, practice for sustainability. We have also encouraged youth anglers to get engaged in the sport and then get them further educated to the tune of $1 million. Awesome. It is awesome. I can't say anything other than that. Thank you, Dylan. And I just want to remind people.
Hey, Captain Lisa, we are up against the break. So how would someone get signed up?
They can get signed up by going to CCAFLSTAR.com. I'm not allowed to make people decide how they want to vote, but I am in agreement personally with you that the right to hunt and fish is something that we have to get behind and support. It's a heritage in this country, and we need to be continuing that heritage.
Amen.
Thanks
for
Lisa.
calling. Vote yes on Amendment 2. Real Animals Radio. We're going to be right back.
says Microdraft 22 Extreme, and I would like to change my answer.
Let me see it.
I think it is dope.
Micro draft skiff.
I thought it was like a micro skiff.
Oh, it's like one of those Texas style boats.
Yeah.
Dang.
I need that.
That's crazy.
Like, so the contender is really nice too, but it's a 22 contender.
Oh, okay.
So like,
might change my.
If I'm going to do a 22, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that tunnel micro draft deal and be like, y'all won't even know what to do with me. Also, that Carolina skiff she's talking about.
Dude, I love the Carolina skiff. I had a 17-foot Carolina skiff. That was my first boat. They're just so versatile.
Look at this thing. I thought it was gonna be like but look at it.
Oh yeah, it's tricked.
Like it's not like the Carolina skiff we had in high school.
No, that's not like mine. Mine was the square
the J16 or whatever, like with the tiller drive.
I was just outside of the J because the J is a very narrow boat.
Yep.
My 17-foot Carolina skiff was wide. It had like a 7-foot beam on it. And, dude, the thing was like a barge.
Yeah.
I could put like 2 pallets of firewood in there and go out to the island and burn wood for 18 hours. Have a fire as tall as me. It was legit.
I laughed right then because there's people that are probably thinking, why would you go burn wood? And I thought, that sounds perfect. Like, why would you not go burn wood?
Dude, like the Lord of the Flies, we lived that out in real life like many times. Many a times. Yeah, we used the little spoil islands. We used to camp out there all the time. It was so much fun. And we survived. No one died. We were close a few times. One of my buddies threw a propane bottle in the fire pit one night. That was fun.
Oof.
The tent, the sleeping bag, everything had holes in it. They were shrapnel and embers spread everywhere. 10 out of 10, don't recommend.
Comment section's a little bit fired up. Y'all are feisty today.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's out there talking about that contender. Go look at that micro draft thing. Like,
well, he's talking about a 26 contender
yeah,
bay.
It's a 22 that's on the Star, which is no slouch. Like, it's a contender.
It's still a nice boat.
It's a really nice boat. But go look at that micro. What's it called? A micro draft?
Micro draft skiff.
I thought it was a micro skiff.
No.
Like when she said it, I thought it was like one of those 14-foot like one-person things. I'm like, no, I'm taking anything with a contender name on it.
Yeah.
And I would still gladly, like if I got last pick and got the contender, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, that contender's nice.
But that micro draft thing looks
bad.
It looks fast, and like I could get myself in trouble with it.
Oh, you would, 100%. Uh-oh. Bobby just got smacked with a stop work order.
Watch this.
Watch this. Oh, this should be good. How about a moratorium on contractors?
Yeah. Oh, dude, permits they drive me crazy, man. You can't tell me I can't do stuff to my house.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, sorry, I thought I built this house in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my brother-in-law lives in Colorado, and where he lives in that county, they can do whatever they want. Like, you can build a house tomorrow. So no permits, no nothing.
In Polk County, you can actually get an exemption you can get an exemption from a permit.
Oh, really?
Not on everything, but on, like, a lot of stuff.
rebuilding his whole home. He didn't pull a permit. Like, is this real life? Like, he put a new roof on. He put so much work into that house. He didn't pull a permit? Because if that's the case, he's screwed.
I'm just throwing some gasoline on it real quick. There's nothing I can do to help him at this moment, so...
We're just going to make fun of him.
Yeah, we're just going to...
Hashtag friendship. I'm so offended. Stop work on your house. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm going to keep working on my house. Throw me in jail. That'd be a great story, right? Straight to jail.
I was rebuilding my home from a hurricane that destroyed my house, and the county threw me in jail because I didn't have a permit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that plays really well in, like, the PR world.
Yeah.
My house was destroyed by Hurricane Ian. Rebuilding it on my own dime.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Bartow Ford Real Animals, on this gorgeous Saturday morning. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Ace Heating and Cooling. For over 20 years, Ace Heating and Cooling has been a name you can trust in the air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys service all brands, and they do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. They send out technicians, not salespeople, and they try to build that long-lasting customer relationship that'll hold up over time. Call 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net to find out for yourself why Ace Heating and Cooling are your easy choice for the Real Animals fishing team and for you and your home. Definitely good people. Fishy guy as well.
Great.
And he likes to hunt.
Loves to hunt, loves to fish. He gets after it.
Yeah.
I like Chris Myers a lot.
All the way around. True Floridian. I bet he's voting yes on Amendment 2.
There you go.
Right to hunt and fish.
There you go. Oh, guaranteed.
And
that's
hopefully
a sure
you are
deal.
too.
That's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully you are, but also hopefully you're telling your friends, family, teacher,
yeah, that's a big
coworkers, etc. about it.
So it's got to pass by 60%, right?
60% plus one.
Plus, what do you mean?
So 60% of the people, if 60% exactly voted for it, it doesn't pass. It's got to be 60% plus a vote.
Huh. Interesting.
So, yeah, like make sure your coworkers know about it. And by the way, we didn't say this earlier. It's nonpartisan. It's bipartisan. Nonpartisan. It's nonpartisan.
I don't know what that exact terminology should be, but essentially it passed the House almost unanimously. Essentially, it did pass unanimously.
Yeah, and I actually have to fix that number on everybody's website. It's 154 to 1. I put 159 to 1 because there's 160 legislators, but there were 5 people that weren't there that day. So it's 154 to 1. 154 to 1. It passed the House and Senate last year to get put on the ballot. So,
and that doesn't happen.
No, man. Like, tell me where you find something
don't
today.
Agree
Yeah, like
on things.
People are like, "Oh man, this is a partisan effort or whatever." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I've been involved in it since day one. There's nothing partisan about this. This is about conservation.
Yeah, it's about protecting our right and preserving our right to hunt and fish, memorializing it in the Constitution.
Ensconcing.
I feel. Oh, that's a really good word.
That's a good one, right?
What's that again?
Ensconcing.
Ensconcing. Oh, added to the vocabulary. I love it. Definitely going to be interesting to see that added to our Florida Constitution. I feel like it should have already been there. What was the state that already had it?
Vermont. Vermont put it in
kind
in
of weird.
1777. No, because back then they were like trading fur for land or something. Like, like you did not. But
I feel like Florida should have been one of those states. Like, there's so many cool things that I'm like, yeah, that's Florida. Like the Florida man thing. That makes me very proud.
Like OMG Wicks. You ever see that guy on TikTok and stuff?
Dude,
he's like,
my hero.
That's on Florida?
Yeah.
That's on Florida, man. We should have this in our Constitution.
And that page only in Florida.
Yes.
It just shares like crazy Florida stuff. That always makes me proud. Like some people are embarrassed of that. I embrace it.
The only one that gets me mad is when it's like some crazy old man. Like there was one recently where like an old man chased off kids fishing in a subdivision. And it was like the headline was like Florida man chases children away from retention pond where they're fishing. And I was like, no.
No,
That's
Florida
a
man
guy
beats that guy up.
Yeah, that's a dude that moved here from New Jersey like 15 minutes ago or Ohio or somewhere and
100%.
doesn't want people fishing in his St. Augustine nutrient-rich lawn. Like
there was so many layers to what you just said.
Like I could rant on that dude. Like get out of here.
Moved from New Jersey 15 minutes ago. It's nutrient-rich lawn.
Specifically St. Augustine because it doesn't take up nutrients the same way that Bahia does. Anyway, that guy is not Florida man, and I don't like it when they're like Florida man. Because oftentimes if it's the stupid Florida man stuff, you go find that guy and it's like, oh, originally from West Chase, New York. Originally from
California.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. He and his family moved here from California 2 years ago during the pandemic. Like, no, this is not Florida man.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
Florida man's out there doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, jumping on pythons.
Yes, exactly. By the way, a buddy of mine caught a 15-4, almost 16-footer the other night.
We are going python hunting.
You're in?
Oh, dude, I have to.
All right.
I have to. I'm so excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elfenbein just heard that. He's getting fired up.
Dude, Elfenbein and his son, that python, how big was that one again?
Dude, I want to say it was 17 plus, 17.4. It was the second biggest one ever caught.
Yeah, second biggest python ever caught. It was all over the news, and I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, like I turned on Fox News one morning. I turned on ABC one morning, and Mike Elfenbein's on there talking like to the Today Show or something.
A 17-foot snake. That's the one I want.
Yeah, it was a monster snake.
Can I take it home?
Took 5. You cannot.
No, you have to kill him.
You can kill it and take it home, but you can't take it home.
So I can't make it a pet.
No,
not allowed.
Big time illegal.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail. Straight to jail.
All right. Well, we've got Rick from East Tampa on the line. How are you doing this morning, Rick?
What's up, Rick?
Very well. I was content listening until he started talking politics with you, and I'm back to having you get involved and being glad you are involved. I had the opportunity for the first time in several years, because I don't watch television, to see you and Russell Rhodes the other day. About a week ago, I was in the hospital, and I'm climbing the hill up again.
Good.
And but you have grown up.
A little bit.
You look like you could punch Captain Mike in the nose if he needed it. So,
I wouldn't go that far.
Cage match for conservation.
He looked like I think both of you looked like you had your noses punched, but you've grown up some, son. So I'm proud of you, and I'm glad to have you to listen to in the mornings. I'm going to come down there and fish with you.
You'll
know me because I'll have a parrot on my shoulder, and he'll be he's a lot friendlier than I am.
We all need one of those in our lives.
He's 14 years old. He's Rocky, and I'm Mr. Rick. We're Rocky and Rick on the road.
There you go.
So we'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
And you know what the world needs to do? The world needs to learn the habit of paying attention.
Yep. Paying attention.
I mean, a habit. You get the habit, you pick up pieces of knowledge. You can sort through it. You learn what's good, what's bad. And the better you do that, the sooner, and all with your experience, you'll grow up and you'll get wiser, hopefully sooner than I did. Bye-bye.
See you, buddy.
That was great.
Powerful call. That and treat people how you want to be treated.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
The golden rule. Just a little bit of respect. Paying attention.
Paying attention, you know what I say?
I like it.
I ask people when I'll go public speak on conservation. I'll speak to like a club or whatever, and I always ask them what's the biggest threat to conservation in Florida. And they'll say development, they'll say water stuff, they'll say all the normal villains that we talk about.
Septics.
Yeah, the biggest threat to conservation in Florida is apathy. It's people that just don't care. Or they tend to care on a social media post or whatever, but they don't care in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but the reason you and I became friends is you were showing up at stuff.
Yeah. People that like to complain on social media and then don't show up really frustrate me. Really frustrate me. I feel like you should lose your right to like comment on things after a certain amount of comments and then no action. Like if you don't take action, you're just all about talking about it, not being about it.
That's exactly right.
It's a problem.
That's exactly right.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
So anyway, but I think that goes in hand with the pay attention. Like it's easy to kind of catch the headlines and share something around and think, oh man, I feel good because I shared this or I shared that, which is important in a lot of cases. Like we're talking about awareness and right to fish and hunt, but also like you got to show up and stay involved.
And also someone might be sitting there like, hey, I got to work, I got kids. You can also show up in other ways, right? You can show up by being a part of an organization. You can help fund an organization. You can donate. You can vote. You can show up and be a part of an email newsletter and chat with your friends. Make sure your friends are aware of these items. So you can make meaningful change without taking time off of work and showing up to meetings.
It's another way we talk all the time, like about even just promoting other organizations.
Yeah.
Like you're the president of FGA, Florida Guides Association. I'm the executive director of All Florida.
Yeah.
We promote the heck out of 6a-8. Why? Because they're in the trenches every day fighting for the stuff we believe in. We're both members of it. They're a great organization, but we have a chance. We're going to talk about their organization and what they're doing because it matters and should matter to these listeners.
And it's so easy to pick something. Like, for example, the Florida Guides Association is a good example of, well, back in the day, I'm not a tarpon fisherman. I don't inshore fish much. This was before my time.
Here we go.
But at one point, FGA took a contentious stand on jig fishing in Boca Grande. I honestly don't even know what side they picked.
Right, I don't remember that either.
It doesn't apply to me. And it still to this day, someone will be like, no, I'm not joining the FGA because of this. And you could pick any organization, Captains for Clean Water, 6a-8, blah, 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 insert name here. And you could pick a reason of this is why I would never join that organization. And it's really easy to grasp onto something like that. And it's really easy to find a way to say no. And this is why I'm not getting involved. Don't make excuses.
No, don't make excuses. And get involved, please,
support
somehow. Because as somebody that does this stuff, as somebody that watches people do this stuff, like it takes every cent, it takes every voice, it takes every pull that you have. Like
numbers help.
Numbers help tremendously.
Yeah, big time. So get involved and stay involved. And vote yes. Did I say that today? I really got it. Real Animals Radio, we're going to be right back after
this. Information about contests on this station, go to WFLAnews.com/rules.
Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust? A company that is clean, honest, trustworthy, reasonably priced, and shows up on time? Captain Mike Anderson here for Titan Plumbing and Electric. My friend Joe Gennaro is the owner, and I've known him and his family for over 15 years. And when Beth and I were getting work done on our home, he was the first person I called because trusting the people working on your home is everything. Call Titan Plumbing and Electric today at 813-933-8010 and find out for yourself what thousands of customers already know. Titan Plumbing and Electric is a company you can trust. TitanPlumbingandElectric.com.
The radio home for your Tampa Bay Rays. All the action, all the play-by-play, all season long can be found in one place. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
We're back. Sorry about that, fellas. Folks.
Someone
Not just
was
fellas.
ill prepared. My bad. And what was that word again? Ensconced?
Ensconced.
Ensconced. That's a good one.
That's a great word, right?
That's a $5 vocab word.
Yeah, I like that one.
Ensconced. We've got a caller. We'll take him real quick, and then we'll wrap her up.
Someone online asked, are you sure that when you get this addition to the Constitution that they're not going to use it against us eventually, just like when they changed one word in the Magnuson-Stevens Act?
They've never changed just one word in the Magnuson-Stevens Act. It's been reauthorized twice, and both times they changed it significantly.
I'm going to say this is very different than an act because this is a constitutional amendment. So the only way to ever change this in the future would be to go back to the Constitution and modify it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a lot of chatter about changing the threshold for a constitutional amendment to pass.
Oh, really?
To 67%,
Ooh.
2/3. So if we don't get this done now, I say this a lot, like I'm not trying to fearmonger it, but if we don't get this done now, I don't think it ever gets done. And I think it's a problem. And I'm as sure as I can be that it's never going to be used against us. I've been wrong about stuff, but like this, we also didn't invent this thing either, right? Like it's been in Alabama since '96. It's been in, like it's pretty sound. The language.
We're the 24th state or 23rd state.
23rd.
So Florida is not the first.
No.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Want to make sure to give a shout out to our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or flat roof, our friend at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They're defined by integrity, respect, and honesty. They have a personalized and professional approach to doing business. Call 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. We've got John from Clearwater on the line here. Real quick, John, what do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, I got some free community services for you, and a little note. I decoded your phone number to help me remember it and help everybody remember it. It's called 1-800-WOW, WFLA.
Yes, sir.
That's the phone number.
It.
And to help adults and children alike, there's a website called saynotodrugs.org. And that teaches you what each drug does to your body and mind so you can make your own decision not to do it without having somebody else force you. You can make your own decision. I'm not going to do that mess. Saynotodrugs.org. It's in 17 languages. And another one, which is it's called a Common Sense Moral Code, also in 17 languages. It's called thewaytohappiness.org. And that's a video that's free. And it shows each point of the moral code. There's 21 of them. Like,
all right. I remember, John, and we're going to move on. Definitely good stuff there. And it's along the lines of treating people like you want to be treated. So appreciate you, John. Thanks for calling in. And definitely important to say no drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay. I love that. I love that South Park reference. You catch that?
I didn't. I wasn't a South Park guy.
What?
Yeah.
Bro.
I know.
I thought we were friends.
I know. I can see
our friendship is
we're
on
about
shaky
to break
ground.
Up. Yeah, I can see that. The bromance is over.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Travis won't be here next week.
Gonna be stuck with Mike.
Oh, man. But we are on our last segment of the show this morning. Want to make sure we remind people we are in the running at Hubbard's Marina for the best charter boat in the country. For the 4th year in a row, we've been nominated by USA Today for best charter boat in the country. We'd like to go back to back to back. And so we need your help. Vote on USA Today. We'll put the link in the chat on our live stream. It's on our Hubbard's Marina Facebook pages, too. So if you're listening on the radio, you can go to Hubbard's Marina on Facebook and find the voting link, because we need your help to vote for Hubbard's Marina every day through the 27th. The 27th is the last day for
I've
voting.
missed a couple of days, but I've voted almost every day.
I appreciate that.
Almost
All right,
every
you're
day.
back. You're back. We're friends
All
again.
Listen,
Nice
everybody's
recovery.
gonna be out on the water this weekend. We've talked about that a lot, the safe boating stuff. I had a thought during the break. We got a text in, and I had a thought. Just be patient and kind out there too. Like, there's going to be a lot of like law enforcement working the water. Like,
100%.
Like, let's be nice to those guys. They don't want to write you a ticket. They don't want to. They would rather be able to leave everything alone. To be honest. But the fact is, we're going to have so many people out there. They're going to have to do checks. They're going to have to pay attention really close. Like,
make
everybody's
sure
going
you
to be
got all your
testy.
stuff
It's hot.
straight.
Like, everybody just kind of be nice to each other and work with it. Be it FWC, our Marine Patrol, or local sheriffs, whatever.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah, respect those guys. They're out there doing a job and trying to keep everybody safe. They're not, targeting one person or another. So,
amen to that. And then also we got Final Friday coming up. May 31st is the last Friday of the month. So remember, every last Friday of every month we have Final Friday in John's Pass from 6 to 9 p.m. There's live music, there's pub crawls, there's free food, free beer, free drinks. We're going to have a huge crawfish boil.
Is there crawfish?
Oh, you know it.
All right.
Big old crawfish boil every last Friday of every month from 6 to 9 p.m. So come by and say hello. You can get your Real Animals Catch Lager. We have a bunch of beer for sale, premium beers, and we give away free Busch Light for the first hour. So you get free beer,
Bush
free crawfish
lattes,
boil.
as we say in the county.
Oh, yeah, and Imperial Polk County.
In Imperial Polk County, it's a bush latte. Translated for them.
Translated. Nice. So definitely come out and see us for Final Friday. Don't forget to vote and get out there on the water and be safe this weekend and enjoy this beautiful weather. It is absolutely gorgeous. We're on the backside of a full moon. Should be a lot of moving water through this weekend. A lot of good opportunities to get out there before June 1st, which is the Red Snapper kickoff, and also seemingly when the weather gets a little nasty, ironically.
Hey, we coincide that.
Yeah, that's always planned well. That weather is brought to you by our friends at Reese Windows and Doors. Remember, they're Florida's leading window and door company for over 50 years. They offer free installation on most windows and doors in just 6 weeks. They use in-house installers, no freelance contractors, and it comes with a double lifetime warranty. So check out Reese Windows and Doors today. Hopefully, you'll get out there on the water. What about you, Travis? What are you up to?
I'm not going on the water this weekend.
Not Memorial Day.
Nope. I got to work tomorrow. I got to do a lot of paperwork and stuff. I'll be on the road a little bit this week, working right to fish and hunt.
Yes,
Memorial Day, though, I am shutting my phone off, and I am
hiding.
Yeah,
Good call.
I'm gonna take it easy.
Solid.
May watch a movie. We went and saw The Fall Guy.
There you go.
So, we may do something corny and cheesy and fun like that.
How would someone get a hold of you if they wanted to book a turkey hunt, a duck hunt, a alligator hunt, a tarpon trip? I mean, you do it all.
At Travis Thompson's where you can find me. For me, you can find our organization at WFLA ORG on social, or you can find us at Duck Ranching on social too, although I'm not super active there right this moment, but that's coming.
It's coming up fast.
It's coming.
And then we lose Travis to the woods for months.
That's right.
Yeah, but hopefully you guys will catch tomorrow's show, Real Animal Sundays, 7 to 9 a.m. on WDAE. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m., our Real Animals in Hubbard's Marina live stream show. Check it out, 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. Chance to win $1,500 in free stuff. All you have to do is tune in live on our Hubbard's Marina or Real Animals Facebook pages. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Vote yes on Amendment 2. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys for listening, just tuning in and joining us. I had a question about bonita strips or bonita chunks. Grouper love bonita, red grouper love bonita chunks. Also red snapper, but red snapper bite just about anything. Dumbest fish in the sea. Super.
That's pretty judgy of red snapper.
They're super dumb, man. They really are. The easiest. If you're far enough out and you're deep enough, you're gonna get red snapper. It's real easy to catch them. So it doesn't matter what you use really for bait for them. But definitely chunked bonita is a good dead bait for sure. But you want to leave the skin on, and strip the bellies is always a good idea. Belly strips is probably the best part of the bonita.
Do you leave the skin on because
it holds it on there better?
Yeah, so it
Put your
stays
hook through
tougher.
the skin, yeah. Because like if you put a strip of bonita on and you send it down through the skin, you'll reel it up and it'll just be skin.
They'll tear through the meat.
All the little fish will peck the meat
Yeah.
right off, but that skin will stay on there. You'll have to cut it off physically.
Really, is that tough?
Yeah, yeah. So you want to always put the hook through the skin, like squid.
I've cut bonita, but I can't say I've ever like filleted one, butterflied one, or anything else. Like
They're good bait, and they're really good.
That's what we've always used them though as big bait. Like
whole.
Cut one for sharks or whatever.
Yeah, use just the head or the tail.
Exactly. Cut it in half.
For sure, definitely a good option for bait though. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night for the live stream show. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget Final Friday's coming up. And don't forget to vote yes on Amendment 2. Anything you want to add?
No, thank you guys for tuning in and listening.
Appreciate you all. Thanks for listening. And again, big shout out for Memorial Day. Don't forget, the reason for the holiday is all about remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So definitely think about that as we move through this weekend. And while the holiday is not about veterans, you still want to recognize the veterans and those who are actively serving as well. But remember those who gave it all and the families impacted by that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
That always seems funny to say, right?
Yeah. It's like catch-22.
Yeah, like not appropriate.